You are with the big story here. I'm Seher Zama. While we get you these latest figures today, we are also marking one complete month of the lockdown. India has been shut from the entire world. Social distancing and lockdown norms that have been followed within the country for the past 1 month. And yet we have seen a massive increase in numbers per day. In the past 24 hours, we had an increase of 1,400 new positive cases, 41 new deaths. With that, the total has now gone beyond 21,000 in all of total positive cases. The death toll is currently standing at 681. These rise in infections are coming in despite the lockdown norms that have strictly been followed across the country, and especially in the hotspot areas here as well, of completely sealing out zones altogether. Yet another big development that has taken place of the president having signed the new law. The ordinance that was passed in by the cabinet seeking stringent action against those who are attacking our corona warriors, our doctors, our healthcare practitioners, our ASHA workers. With this new law, doctors will now be protected. Those accused of attacking them in the wake of this pandemic will be taken to task. Hefty fines and imprisonment that could be imposed. We're getting in breaking inputs here. These are breaking inputs coming in as far as the forecast of India's market here is concerned. These are Fitch ratings coming in from the United States. India's economic growth projections there have been slashed by the Fitch ratings, and it has been slashed to 0.8%. This is for the current 2020-21 financial year. It is also said here that this is because of unparalleled global recession that the world is seeing in the wake of this pandemic here, and the resultant lockdowns. Remember, markets that have remained shut altogether, businesses that have been impacted. Fitch ratings here further adding. India's gross domestic is expected to rebound, and this is going to be a rebound to 6.7% in the next financial year of 2021 to 22. Let's get you more inputs here that are coming in. We're going to be doing this market analysis in just a bit with respect to that projection and the Fitch ratings here. But this is yet another incident, shameful, violent incident reported once again. An attack on ASHA workers. 6 persons have been arrested here for this attack of beating up ASHA workers while they were conducting door-to-door survey. And this was a survey on COVID which was taking place in Faridabad in Sector 22. Our correspondent Alok is getting us those details here. Alok, the shocking irony in the timing of this attack here, because just today we're looking at the new law having become effective on ground. The president has given the nod for that ordinance. These 6 people arrested now are going to be taken to task basis this new law now.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is really shameful that one side the government is coming up with a law which is against the people who are indulging in the violence against against the warriors, and these are the frontline warriors, what we can say. And the same way this incident had happened in Faridabad area in Sector 62, when these ASHA workers had gone to do door-to-door survey, and they were identifying the people who are having symptoms of corona. Remember, this is the direction from the central government that all states have to do this kind of survey, and that is why these survey is being done. So these ASHA workers had gone there. They were trying to identify when they started asking the people about their travel history and about their details. At the same time, these family members, in fact, got agitated. They called more persons, those were the residents of that particular area. They gathered there, and then they attacked these ASHA workers. At the same time, the police call was also made. When the police came, they were also attacked. In fact, the visuals which we are seeing, these show in that visual, it is clearly shown that the argument between the police personnel and the residents. So later after that, 2 persons, that include female ASHA worker and a male police constable, got injured. They were taken to the hospital. They were critically injured, but now they are fine. Now the police has registered a case and arrested 6 persons who are involved in this violence.
Okay.
Police say that those other persons who are still absconding, they will be arrested very soon.
All right. A very, very strong reminder to those watching. Understand this. This is a new law in place. Anyway, to begin with, it is a shameful attack on ASHA workers, on our doctors who are working round the clock to protect us. And if you're an accused in this case, you will be taken to task as per the new law that the country has today. There could be hefty fines and imprisonment if you're found guilty. This is a political face-off that continues between the central government and the state government of West Bengal. Now the governor, Jagdeep Dhankar, has now asked the state chief minister about what was gained from WHO's visit to East Midnapur as well as Bishnupur. Remember, the governor described this visit of WHO as a red carpet visit, in contrast to the claims that were made by the interministerial team, the team that was sent across by the central government, which is still in the state because it's trying to do an on-spot assessment of COVID-hit areas in Kolkata and Jalpaiguri. He's also, the governor here, in questioning that, has also expressed concern regarding the rebuff to the central teams, urging the chief minister now to ensure a seamless way forward. Remember, this has been about a two-day tussle which is continued between the central government and the state government. The West Bengal state government continues to accuse the central government here of arbitrarily marking out Kolkata and Jalpaiguri as areas of concern for coronavirus. Migrant workers continue to walk. There are still migrant workers here. This is despite assurances and several state governments coming forward and providing them food and shelter relief. But there are still several migrant workers who are still making attempts. And this is after a month after the lockdown. They're still making attempts to foot the distance, to walk hundreds of kilometers to be back home. Now, 26 migrant workers, and this is the latest case now coming in from Tamil Nadu. These migrant workers, they were spotted by the police in a truck. This truck was stopped for checking at a checkpost in Namakkal. 26 migrants from the state of Rajasthan. They had already covered a distance on foot of 200 kilometers and they were continuing the rest of the ride by hitching a truck. The stranded workers have now been provided shelter and this is a shelter provided at a government college. Our correspondent Pramod is getting us further details here. Pramod, given the fact that they covered the distance of the past few days of 200 kilometers, and they could not be provided relief then. Now, of course, the government has stepped in.
Absolutely is, and these days, apparently it was a big surprise for the Namakkal police who actually stopped the vehicle over there to find out what exactly was happening. And this was a vehicle that was designed to carry automobile parts and things like that. So even then, the driver was not giving a proper answer, and that's when they decided to open the boot and found out that there were 27 migrant workers inside the place, and they were completely shocked. And when they asked these people, inquired with them, they stated that they had gone back to they were in Kerala on March for searching for a job, but unfortunately because of lockdown they could not find any job over there and they did not have any money with them to survive. And without no transportation, they decided to walk all the way back to Rajasthan. Very unfortunate. And what they have done is that through forest path and through Teni district, they reached Karur. That's almost 200 kilometers they walked, and that's when they got they got into this truck to go back to Rajasthan. However, the police stopped them, advised them that they cannot go anywhere during lockdown period, and provided them with shelter. And they are at Namakkal district currently.
All right, so now they have been provided that relief and shelter at a government college. But Pramod, given the fact that the police was also caught unawares in this because they had walked a distance of 200 kilometers and then there was an on-spot checking that was happening of the truck when the truck was opened up and 26 of them together were found. Is there a word that's coming in from the government? Because multiple state governments here, not just Tamil Nadu, have time and again said that migrant workers need to stay put and there's nothing to fear. They would be provided food, they would be provided shelter. There are multiple instructions that keep coming in from the central government as well to be doing that as a top priority, and yet these incidents happen.
Well, the biggest problem here is that there is no documentation of migrant workers. They are at different areas, different districts, and different places working. And unfortunately, they do not have proper documentation, be it Tamil Nadu or be it Kerala. So that's a bigger issue because whoever have been documented, they are being provided food and shelter. But many people are still there. They have not been documented, which means they have to find a resource
Okay.
to live and survive on their own. And that's when such an issue arises. However, these 26 migrant workers are lucky because they were actually they were able to find. Namakkal police was able to find them, and immediately they were being provided shelter at a government college now.
Pramod, many thanks for getting us those details there. This is happening more so because a lot of undocumented workers there still floating around. These are breaking inputs coming in from Kerala, and it's a curious case which has triggered a major controversy. A government official allegedly helped a teacher cross interstate borders in Kerala. And why is that? The teacher who was working at a school at Thiruvananthapuram managed to cross over to the next state, neighbouring state of Karnataka, using a government vehicle. So this was clear help that was provided by the government official there. The teacher was given a travel pass by the Kerala police. So the police had stepped in as well. And the district administration chief secretary, that's the top bureaucrat of the state, observing that this incident should be seen and treated as a serious lapse. An inquiry has been initiated onto this. We have our correspondent Vivek getting us further details. Vivek, what more do we know so far? Why do we have so many officials, including the police, having stepped in to help this teacher? What were the circumstances? What was the crisis?
This is a very serious crisis that has happened. Now, this happened day before yesterday. That's on Tuesday evening. This teacher in a public school from Trivandrum, from Tamarasheri, she went up to Tamarasheri, and from Tamarasheri, she went to the border. That is the Kerala-Karnataka border in Wayanad. And using the vehicle, she was traveling in the vehicle of the excise department, and there were 3 officials also accompanying her at this point of time. She managed to cross the border. What we understand is that she got the pass. She got the pass from a senior official, a bureaucrat here in Trivandrum, and we still don't know who is that. How did she manage to do from which official should she get the pass? But she managed to get the pass, and with the help of excise department officials, she managed to cross the border. She was looking to go to Delhi from Bangalore. She's not. They were not able to reach her because they're not sure whether she has gone to Delhi or whether she's in Karnataka itself. But this is a very serious breach because using the passes that's been issued by the state police department,
that's right,
be it from the commissioner or from the senior police official, you are only supposed to travel within the state. That's from one district to another district, no matter who you are, which position you hold, whether you are a celebrity, whether you are a government official, whether you are, any top-notch official within the state, you are just not permitted to go leave the state, for whatever situation. Because also that's the reason why the public transport, both the bus transport and the train services have been stopped at this point of time. At this juncture, a teacher from a public school in Trivandrum managed to cross the border, and that too using the cover-up of the excise department, and managing to get a pass from the senior bureaucrat in Trivandrum. It's a very serious lapse that's been noticed. What we understand is that as soon as she returns back to the state, there is going to be a department-level investigation that will be initiated against her. Also, the district collector of Wayanad has lashed out at the police department, asking them on whose permission did they allow her to cross the border, because the commissioner.
All right, so this is government officials concerned and the police officer concerned taken to task, yes. All right, Vivek, we get the point here on work that is being done so far in those investigations. Thank you. We'll have to leave it at that. With that, we're slipping into a very tiny breather. We're back in just a few brief seconds here. Please stay on with us. These are breaking inputs coming in of the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister writing to the Union Railway Minister. Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar has now been demanding special trains for migrants who are stranded in Maharashtra. So Ajit Pawar here says in writing to the Railway Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, requesting him to arrange for these special trains for the migrant workers post-lockdown. Our Deputy News Editor, Mayuresh, is getting us those inputs here. Mayuresh, this is a request first after having come in from the Chief Minister. Now you have the Deputy Chief Minister saying the same, that this is a population that needs to be catered to as a top priority. We'll be reconnecting with Mayuresh on that in just a bit here. Remember, the request here coming in from the government of Maharashtra. This is for the Railway Ministry, requesting them to arrange for special trains for migrant workers post the lockdown. Remember, there are several who are still stranded in Maharashtra. The state government has been helping them as far as food and shelter arrangement is concerned, but the arrangements still need to be made for them to be patched back home. Now, this is in preparation to the build-up of the holy month of Ramadan, which starts later tonight. So fasting is going to start tomorrow. And a request now that has come in fact, an important message that needs to be followed by all. The Shahi Imam of the Jama Masjid has now spoken out in Delhi, echoing the centre's plea here to stay at home, to observe the holy month. Say your prayers at home, do your iftar at home. There should be no gatherings. All guidelines of the lockdown that need to be followed and respected. Take a listen in.
हुकूमत हिंद की तरफ से कोरोना वायरस के हवाले से जो हिदायत मुसलसल आ रही हैं, अगर हम इस पर पूरी तरह अमल करें तो इस वायरस को जल्द ख़त्म करने में हम कामयाब हो सकते हैं कि 5 वक्ता नमाजें और तरावी घरों में ही पढ़नी है और सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग बनाए रखना निहायत ज़रूरी है। एक दूसरे से दूरी और दीगर हिदायत पर अमल करके हम अपने आप को, अपने ख़ानदान और समाज को इस मौलिक बीमारी से बचा सकते हैं।
Our correspondent Ayushman is getting us further details here on this. Ayushman, some of the community leaders have been speaking out, not just in Delhi, but other big cities here as well. Importantly, that the message be sent out well in time, that these are norms of the lockdown that are continued. Irrespective of what you're observing, it needs to be respected.
Yes, sir, and we have seen the Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi also appealing to the members of Muslim community not to come out, because it is very important that we follow the social distancing norm. And this again, the appeal has come from Shahi. He has appealed the members should be there inside their homes and should pay namaz at their residences only. They should not come to the mosque, because the congregation or the gathering is not allowed, and social distancing remains an effective tool in countering the coronavirus. And that is why this has been appealed from the community leader side, and it is expected that people will follow the instructions.
Ayushman, many thanks for getting us those details. A certain relaxation that has been seen in Jammu, where brick kiln workers have got back to their work after they were rendered jobless, but they're back on the job only after following strict social distancing norms while being back at work in the kilns. Times Network's Pradeep Datta with this input.
Once again, brick kiln laborers are back to work. This has brought back smile on their faces. Because of lockdown, they had not only lost their jobs, but source of income too. In such a situation, they were finding their survival difficult, how to feed their near and dear ones and to keep their kitchen fires stoked. In such a situation, many of them even tried to flee back to their respective places, but police stopped them at different Naka points, realizing that if this exodus of migrant laborers would continue, it is only going to defeat spirit of lockdown and social distancing. Finally, government decided that these brick kilns to be allowed to be opened here in Jammu region. Let's speak to some of these workers here who are back in these fields. कितना अच्छा लग रहा है वापस आके काम पे?
हम लोग को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है जी। पहले काम बंद थे तो हम लोग परेशान हो रहे थे, बच्चे बुच्चे भूखे मर रहे थे, काम कर रहे हैं, खर्चा भी मिल रहा है अच्छा से, और हम जो कर्जा लिए थे वो भी कर्जा ही मुका पाएंगे और परिवार अच्छा खुशहाली से रह पाएंगे।
So you can yourself see that these people are very happy. They are feeling very good that they are back to work. We should speak to one more person. कैसा लग रहा है काम पे आके?
काम पे आकर अच्छा लग रहा है जी। पहले तो बहुत परेशानी हो रहे हैं, अच्छा से अब लग रहा है बच्चा को पोस पाल पाएंगे, कर्जा को माफ कर पाएंगे, काम कर कर छूट पाएंगे।
The life was really difficult for them, but what is good thing is that you can see that they are maintaining proper social distancing while at work. They are taking all sorts of precautionary measures, and you can see they are also wearing masks on their faces to prevent themselves from killer corona, because government has already asked them to take all certain measures. Let's speak to the person who is the owner of this big kiln. आप क्या-क्या सैनिटाइजेशन के लिए यहाँ पे सुविधाएं प्राप्त कर?
सर, हमने इनको साबुन की सुविधा दी हुई है। ये अपना जब भी काम करके जाते हैं तो अपने हाथ धोकर ही अपने अंदर जाते हैं, और मास्क वगैरह भी इन्होंने वेयर किए हुए हैं, और ये बहुत खुश हैं। और इनके साथ हम भी बहुत प्रसन्न हैं कि हमारा काम भी चल गया, और जो लेबर बाहर से हमारी 2500 किलोमीटर दूर से हमारी जो लेबर आई थी वो अपने काम पे लग गई हुई है, और जो हमारे पास रॉ मटेरियल पड़ा हुआ था वो भी हम उसको यूज कर रहे हैं अभी।
So they were also facing lot many difficulties. The people who had been running these big kilns, they were also facing lot many difficulties. But now with these big kilns once again functioning, and they are also feeling good. And this is really a sigh of relief for all these laborers. And what they said, that they are trying to take proper care of their sanitization. They are trying to provide them masks. They are providing them soap. And also one thing that is what they are taking care of is just preventing these people from mingling with population. They will not be allowed to move out of this place. They will have to adhere to lockdown guidelines. They will not be allowed to move out of these areas. They work, and in fact they have made small hutments for them where they stay, and this has in fact helped them come out of all those worries. That is really getting very easy for them, because already the uncertainty clouds had been looming large over their heads, which have been set aside because of this decision taken by the government. This exemption has really brought smile on their faces, and you can see since morning they are working here at Bilkins, and this is the condition of many other Bilkins here in Jammu outskirts. And you can see after a long time that once again this construction work will start here in Jammu region, and this is going to once again start a small economic boom, because all the economic activities had come to screeching halt because of lockdown that had been continuing for the last several days. And lockdown was important because everybody felt that lockdown is the only option with which they can keep coronavirus locked out. And now with restoration of these activities here at the Bilkin, and this is also a sign of economic boom to some extent for these people who are associated with the construction business.
Breaking inputs coming in with respect to a dearness allowance for our government workers. Ministry of Finance has decided that there is to be an additional installment of dearness allowance payable to central government employees and the dearness relief to central government pensioners. This is due from the 1st of January 2020, shall not be paid. In fact, the additional installments between the 1st of July this year to the 1st of January next year will also not be paid. However, the allowance at the current rate will be paid. That's big news coming in for government employees, and what the Ministry of Finance has now decided to do here in the midst of this pandemic. With that, it is a wrap on the big story. Thanks for being with us.